Okay. Whenever you guys are ready, go for it.
I'm Matt Davis.
I'm Mila Kibler.
Sophie Jacatus. Julia Strahan.
Kara Bishop. So Vision 60504 is a project taken on by Matea, Nico, and Wabansi Valley students. Aurora has asked us to make the Westfield Mall more enjoyable, inviting, and successful. This project poses an opportunity for high school students to experience business in the real world. Between the 3 high schools, one group will win, and their visions for the Westfield Mall will be implemented. Students will improve the mall and the ring road around the mall through extensive research and creativity. Students get the opportunity to think outside of the box and see their visions come to life.
Alright, starting out the SWOT analysis, the strengths of the Westfield Mall are the high amounts of customer diversity, the higher income residents around the mall, like how below it says centrally located between 2 large suburbs. The steady cash flow between the suburbs, they're mainly higher income residents. They control a large quantity of land surrounding the mall, which gives them a lot of flexibility to do many things like the Vision 60504 project that the 3 schools are doing. And the weaknesses are the lack of quality landscaping might make it look a little unappealing to the customers. And the look and feel of the mall inside and out might also make it look a little unappealing and maybe make it feel like they wouldn't want to come back when they do come. And some of the missing demographics that Nick is going to talk about coming up next. And a lot of the retail, or most of the stores in the mall are retail, and they're missing a lot of the entertainment standpoint that people would like to see there. And there's a limited variety of dining, like they only have a food court, they don't have really many fancy restaurants.
Alright, for the opportunities, there's a lot of room for expansion because of the excessive parking space around the mall. And so there's a lot of parking spots in the mall. The spots that are consistently not being used can easily be replaced with a store or a restaurant. And also feel like that there could be some remodeling inside and outside the mall to improve on the overall look of the Westfield area. And then for the threats, there are businesses in the mall that are passed by frequently and aren't very popular, and they can improve on that. And then customers could also be going to other shopping centers based off of reputation and quality. There's competition with other malls in the area and similar businesses nearby the Westfield Mall.
So in order to get the information that we needed to make the best possible suggestions for the Fox Valley Mall, we conducted a survey. With this survey, we were able to get information from 189 individuals of varying age and gender and lifestyles through a variety of questions ranging from multiple choice, rating scales, and open extended answers. With these questions, our main goal was to figure out who the customers of the Fox Valley Mall are and what they want in a mall. Essentially, we asked questions to get 3 different types of information. The first type of questions we asked allowed us to get information on the customer or on our survey takers' shopping habits. So, how often they visit the mall, or how much money they spend while they're there. Through these questions, we were able to figure out that 89% of our survey takers visit the Fox Valley Mall for clothing, leading us to believe that we need to provide more dining and entertainment options to create a more comprehensive experience for visitors. Additionally, we also asked lifestyle questions. So this included questions like, how willing would you be to drive 20 minutes or more for a restaurant? Or how much do you enjoy spending time at karaoke bars or restaurants? Through these questions, we wanted to hone in on what specific businesses would be best fitting at the Fox Valley Mall. One of the questions we asked included a check all statements that apply to you question. These statements included, I like to go golfing, or I like to follow trends. So through this question, we found out that 57% of our survey takers like to follow trends, and 91% of our survey takers enjoy outdoor activities. This allowed us to believe that well-known brand stores and a recreational equipment store would be an ideal fit for the Fox Valley Mall. The final type of questions we asked were demographic information, which allowed us to figure out the age and gender of our survey takers. In order to get additional demographic information, we also relied on the information provided to us by Foxton, which allowed us to get more information about who the customers surrounding the Fox Valley Mall were. We found out that within a 20-minute radius of 20-minute driving radius of the Fox Valley Mall, most of consumers were white, college-educated individuals earning high income. Additionally, a large portion of the consumers are families who are seeking not only a variety of shopping experiences, but also more dining and entertainment options. Finally, we use Retail Niche Track in addition to specific businesses' websites in order to figure out not only what businesses would be the best fit at Fox Valley Mall, but how we could benefit them as well.
Moving on to our recommendations, we had a number of recommendations for restaurants and food and entertainment in the food and entertainment category. So first we have Champs Americana, and that is a casual dining and sports bar that has a prime atmosphere for sports watching, along with other entertainment options such as music and karaoke. Champs Americana is very proud of their Midwest heritage with many locations in the Midwest, and they would also be a great addition to the Westfield Mall, as the closest location is just over 30 minutes away. Moving on to Popcorn Haven, it's an easily accessible and profitable shop. It does a great job of attracting customers with the smell of many different flavors going into and around the store area. Also, people would not only stop on purpose, but for impulse buys because of the smell drawing them in. For next, California Pizza Kitchen. As the area around Westfield Mall lacks a higher end dining experience, we would like to add California Pizza Kitchen, and them being not your average pizza place, they offer many different types of pizzas, including many different flavors, and this addition would fit perfectly into the Westfield area in terms of our demographic of having a family-oriented dining experience. Moving on to a more upscale dining experience, we would like to add Cheesecake Factory, and this would give a more upscale dining atmosphere, and because of the lack of the upscale dining experience and the fact that it is a very well-known restaurant, would make it a prime candidate for an addition to Westfield Mall. Lastly, for entertainment, we would like to include Lucky Strike Bowling into the new additions to Westfield. The upscale bowling venue offers more high-end atmosphere in the evenings, and the demographic fits the nightlife sort of feel that people would like in this area. And also, it would be highly beneficial because the venue can serve as more family-oriented activities during the day, and would help with the expansion of the area's nightlife as the business becomes 21 and over in the evenings.
Okay, so going along with the food and entertainment, we also have 5 other retail recommendations that we'd like to put in the mall. So starting off, we have REI, which is kind of like a higher end sports store. Kind of think like Sports Authority, but we see a lot more hipster people shopping there, and they have a lot of things for golf and yoga and climbing and kayaking. So it's kind of like Sports Authority but upgraded. So we thought that kind of store would be perfect for the mall because there's not that many sports equipment stores in the mall, especially for the higher end people that we see shopping at the mall. So that fits our demographic really well. And from 2013 to 2015, the company experienced a 170% increase in their net income. So they're doing really well and they're expanding a lot. So that tells us they're definitely going to want to expand in places like malls. So we think that they would be a really good addition and they'd be really successful in the mall. And then our next retail option is Urban Outfitters, and they were really popular in our survey that we gave out to everyone. Everyone seemed to really like that store, and it's really popular, so we think it'll be really successful. And because they're in retail racetrack, we know that they're willing to expand and compete in our mall. And they have clothing for males and females, and they're also really upscale, which some of our retail options in the mall right now aren't very like upscale, so I think that this would offer like a different kind of retail option that isn't really there yet. And then going along with clothing and retail, there's Ann Taylor, which kind of appeals to the older demographic that shops at the mall. Urban Outfitters, like Forever 21 and other stores, kind of for like younger kids, and we don't see that many stores that appeal to the older demographic. So we think that Ann Taylor, which is a female clothing store, would be really, really good for our mall because it's female clothing, it's upscale still, and it's the older demographic. And then, as you can see, Vineyard Vines is one of our recommendations, and that's growing very much recently. It's a very popular store. It fits all demographics, but we wanted it in the mall because we think it would fit like the younger demographic more. It's been very successful just in the recent past years. Has a lot of future to expand, and it has been expanding in a lot of malls, so we know that they'd be willing to set up in other malls too. And then lastly, we have a new store that probably a lot of you haven't heard of. It's called Campus Colors, and it's kind of like a college wear store, but instead of having just like your Chicago colleges or like colleges that are in Illinois, they have colleges from all over the country, and you can order in like whatever college you want. They can give you any apparel you want. So that's a really cool option that we don't think that the mall offers right now. That we'd like to highlight.
Okay, so for the locations, we decided on some being inside the mall and some out on the ring road. So we have 7 locations that we would like to put in the mall. Those would include Champs, California Pizza Kitchen, Popcorn Haven, Ann Taylor, Vineyard Vines, Urban Outfitters, and Campus Colors. So to start with Champs, so we'd like to place it where Tilted Kilt is. Now people know where Tilted Kilt is, that's not necessarily the problem. The problem is that the demographic for Tilted Kilt doesn't necessarily match the demographic of the mall. And so adding something in like Champs makes it more family friendly while at the same time keeps the sports bar feel. And replacing Tilted Kilt with Champs would bring in a much like wider variety of types of people, and it would help to make the mall more successful. And then for California Pizza Kitchen, we would put in open space right by Tilted Kilt. And putting California Pizza Kitchen near where Champs would bring more attention to the area and have like require more people to go to the mall to like dine. And then it adds a sort of convenience for the customers, and then people start to identify that area with dining options, and it will bring more business to the stores nearby also. And then for Popcorn Haven, we'd like to place it in Auntie Anne's on the 2nd floor. Now, Auntie Anne's is super successful and benefits the mall, so we're not eliminating it. There are 2 Auntie Anne's, so we're going to keep one and replace the second. The smell of the popcorn, like they were saying before, like it's so tempting, and so it'll bring in just as many, if not more, customers that the Auntie Anne's was.
I have a question about Popcorn Haven because I've never been there. Is it like a Auntie Anne's kind of thing where it's just basically like a counter, you go up and order popcorn, or is it more of like a store, like bigger, where you go in and there's like packaged products on the shelves, or you can get fresh popcorn?
It's a
You
store,
know what I mean?
but there are also like counter like things too. Most of the businesses that you see are like full out stores, but
Okay.
the way that we see it, we put it in just like a counter space. Like
Okay,
Annie
so
Ann's.
it'd be comparable, like the way it's set up to like an Auntie Anne's. You just go up to the counter, order your fresh
Right,
popcorn.
and different like types of locations, so that would be like one of their types.
Gotcha.
They have one on down 59 a little farther, and it's kind of struggling with the success because it's a like lone standing like store, and putting it in a high foot traffic area, we feel like it will have so much more success because people see it, people impulse buy, they smell it, they want it, and it offers like they're saying like a wide variety of flavors.
Gotcha.
So I think that would be like a cool different addition to the mall.
Okay.
And then onto retail, we have Ann Taylor, which we would put in the dollar store by JCPenney's. And so first of all, I didn't even know there was a dollar store at JCPenney's until we started doing this project. But so now we want to replace it with a really well-known store like Ann Taylor. So not that it's just well known, but like they were saying, it appeals to that like more mature demographic, and also it brings in like people with a higher income. So it's bringing people that might not normally go to that area towards those other stores near JCPenney's. And then like Ann Taylor, we would put Vineyard Vines in Funky Breeze by JCPenney's. And adding a second well-known store like Vineyard Vines right by Ann Taylor will attract a similar popular demographic with that higher income into that same area, because both stores are upscale and a little bit pricier, but they'll complement each other and it will benefit them all. And then we have Urban Outfitters, which we put in the open space by Sears. So that space is not being used. And so since Urban Outfitters is well-known, upscale, same kind of thing, it will bring in people into an area where they might not normally go. And then Campus Colors, we have replacing Clark Street Sports. So people want a store like Clark Street Sports where they can buy things to support their favorite teams and colleges and stuff. But Campus Colors adds a much wider variety of options, bringing more people in. And then on the Ring Road, we have Lucky Strike, Cheesecake Factory, and REI. Lucky Strike, we would like to put by the extra parking by the office space. A business like Lucky Strike, we would put in the open parking right over here, which is right by the office buildings. And right now there's like 2 parking spots right there, and it's just a lot of different parking spaces. So putting it in part of that parking lot leaves enough spaces for the office and Lucky Strike, but it takes away some of that, adds business, adds life to the Ring Road. And then similar REI, we would put where the old theater was, which is right here in the yellow. Same kind of area, would share parking with Lucky Strike and the office buildings. But we're not too limited on parking, because right across the street is Macy's upstairs parking, which if they need additional parking spaces, they can use that. And then last we have Cheesecake Factory, which we would put in the JCPenney's upstairs parking. This parking spot is huge, shoppers don't really utilize it, so adding a Cheesecake Factory there isn't taking away parking that the mall needs. And then same kind of thing, if they need more parking, they have parking there, and the Macy's right next door that is upstairs. And then for additional recommendations, we have landscaping and signs. So I have some pictures from Oak Brook Center. It's kind of a good example. It is an outdoor mall, so their landscaping is kind of like in the center. However, the landscaping is kind of important. If we fix the exterior of our mall, it will make the mall more appealing and attractive to people, and even if they don't realize it, it will be adding value into their eyes. And then making our signs a little bit more exciting and extravagant may catch people's attention more than the signs are right now. The signs are good, but they're a little boring, and so adding something that's more eye-catching could benefit the mall also.
Thank you for listening to our presentation. Does anyone have any questions?
Oh, I was going to ask one question. You mentioned, I think Nick, you mentioned earlier, like what you in the opportunities and threats, like we have businesses that people pass by in the mall and don't really stop at. What are the businesses that you kind of identified as the weak links in the mall? Is it the ones that you specifically targeted to replace?
Yeah, it's a lot of them that we're trying to replace, like the dollar store and like Funky Breeze. So like nobody knows those businesses are
What is Funky? I mean, I know the dollar store is. I think it's weird that there's a dollar store in the mall, but what is Funky Breeze?
It's right next to the dollar store. It's more of like a hippie-oriented store.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's easy to walk just right past the
Oh,
dollar
for
store.
sure. Yeah. So it's not a great utilization of space.
All right. Trying to think. Let's see. Where's the closest Vineyard Vines?
It is in the Oak Brook Shopping Center.
So there is one in Oak Brook. Okay. And then, only thing, I think the only one that I noticed, is there an where's the closest Urban Outfitters? Is that Oak Brook
That's
too?
in
Or
Oak Brook.
is there one downtown Naperville? No?
No.
So I think the only one I noticed, I think, is Ann Taylor has a downtown Naperville store, correct?
Yes.
So do we have any idea? The biggest concern would be, are they going to locate another store so close? I don't know. Do we have any idea how close or far away their stores tend to be, and whether or not there's a concern that might be too close of the the mall might be too close to their existing downtown
We
location.
were thinking a lot of Aurora shoppers, it's like a lot longer of like a hike to go downtown Naperville as it would for people that live in Naperville and shop at the mall also. So it adds up for them, but there's stores like the Loft and like Banana Republic in the mall, and that's kind of all like, I know my mom shops at stores like that, that's kind of like her variety.
So there is a loft, because a loft is like, that's in the mall? Is there a loft in the mall?
Yeah, it's really small though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because isn't loft like the Ann Taylor, isn't Ann Taylor loft like that's like the outlet sort of?
Yeah, and they like
Right?
to keep them together, so sometimes you see Ann Taylor Loft and they're like next to each other.
I think is that what they have
So-
downtown Naperville? Do they have them both right by each other? Or do they just have
I
Ann
don't
Taylor?
believe that they have a loft. Next
Is there a loft, do we know at the outlet mall too?
There's,
Yeah. Okay. Alright, so there's lofts, but there's not normally Ann
But the
Taylor.
reason why we're pushing so much for Ann Taylor's because when we looked at like demographic research on like Buxton, they like specifically said like a lot of our shoppers really like Ann Taylor, especially the older demographics.
Okay.
So that was a lot of where we got our inspiration for Ann Taylor.
Okay.
and same with our survey also, like all the older demographic, you can tell by the numbers, like they all would shop there. And like the younger demographic, like not so much in the survey, but the older demographic, female for sure.
Okay. Alright, cool. Anybody else have any questions? Alright, very good job. Nice job. Alright, second group, why don't you go ahead and get set up right away, let's go.